Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Skyrim Special Edition Modded. We're here with Artorius, the blacksmith, and Artorius is no longer a journeyman. Artorius is now a master craftsman blacksmith, and before we get started on anything else, I think it's time for us to reflect on what we've learned. So, we're almost up to 300 health here, and I noticed the stamina, I haven't put anything in, and I said I was going to pump health, which I think I still will, but I've been doing a little bit of training with my sword arm there, and swinging the old axe with some training dummies, and I noticed that I'm running out of stamina really quickly whenever I get into a melee fight, so I'm going to go ahead and put a point into stamina, and another one. And one of the reasons that we gained 2 levels right away is, unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention. I really did want to catch this on camera. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to, but we now have our smithing level up to 105. I really wanted to catch when we got to 100, but yeah, we're up to 105, and I think the 2 perk points, I want to put another one into smithing, and I'm gonna see where we are here. And on the planar smithing, I'm thinking that like I said before, I don't plan on us doing any much stuff with dragon bone just yet, because it's such a rare thing to find for someone like us. We're just a blacksmith, so haven't even seen anything made out of dragon bone yet. But I would like to maybe look at this Daedric just for the purposes of specifically the bows. The bows are pretty incredible. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put 1 point into that. And we're going to do Daedric. And then the other point that we're going to put somewhere, I've been doing a lot of work on my one-handed, and I've also gotten my light armor up above 40 now. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go for the light armor fit. As I mentioned before in a previous episode, this one will allow us to get up to the keen senses, and this is the one I'm really after. This is the one where you don't need to wear a helmet, and it gives you a 20% increase in your light armor, and it also applies any other light armor perks as if you were wearing light armor, a full set of light armor. So that's a really useful one. And so as soon as I already have the correct enough levels for it, and I attribute that to all of the clearing out of Foresworn that we've been working on with Vigilance here, and also Vorstag. Now, Vorstag and I, and Vigilance and Maximus, we were going back and forth. We went and spoke to some folks over at the Orc Stronghold that's just south of here, and they ended up telling us about some of the other Orc Strongholds and marking them on our map. So there's actually one north. I mean, we've been this far north already, up to this Burka's Leap redoubt. And that's where we ended up finding the statue of Dibella that belongs to Lisbeth. So she was really happy about that. So this one, more Kasbur, up in the north. And then if we just zoom out a little bit here, they told us about 2 more. One of them is over in this area, which is Narzulbur. And I do apologize if my pronunciation is off for all you other bloodkin out there. And then the other one is this one here, which is Largashbur. And in doing some talking, I did find out that these guys up here are guarding a very valuable mine, and that mine is an ebony mine. So a future goal for us is going to be to travel across Skyrim to get to Narzulbur so that we can negotiate a deal with them for ebony. We do have ebony smithing perk, and I do want to make some ebony gear. And speaking of ebony gear, while we were on our way around doing some hunting and near Yarl, which is the stronghold south of here, Vorstag and I got into quite a fight with a guy that was dressed all in ebony. And I just want to show you this. If we just look by value, he had a full set of ebony armor. Ebony armor, he had a magic abatement, ebony shield, helmet, boots, and gauntlets. So we did end up acquiring a full set of ebony gear. Now, I was thinking about giving that to Vorstag, and we had a discussion about it, and he has a affinity for light armor. Now, out of character just for a moment, I did look up on the wiki, and for some reason, maybe the mods that I'm using, it has Vorstag's stats all changed around. So I'll just show you real quick what I ended up doing. I went back in, and he is a barbarian type person, and he's supposed to be a heavy armor one-handed. Now, I'm fine with him sticking with the two-handed since he had that already. But if I just go in here to the follower framework, sorry for switching around there. If I go into follower stats and we look at Vorstag, what I did was I allowed myself stat editing, and I went in here and it shows you what the previous one was and what it's been changed to. So all I've done is I've changed a light armor of 77 over to 20. Actually changed it to 15, but we've leveled up since then, so he's still pumping points. And then the 15 points that he had in heavy armor, I changed that to 72. So I just switched these two stats around. I left everything else the same, and like I said before, I'm perfectly happy with him sticking with the two-handed. However, what that's going to mean for us is this very fancy barbaric looking light armor that he's in is no longer appropriate for his stats. So I'll probably be working on before too long crafting up some heavy armor for him. I was thinking about the ebony armor, letting him use the ebony armor, but there was just something about it. Seemed like it still didn't quite fit for his personality. So we'll have to see what's going to happen with that. Next thing we're going to check is our journal. And I just wanted to read to you what Artorius wrote this morning. With our successes at stemming the Foresworn threat, the Jarl seems to be quite pleased. So much so that he has summoned me to the keep. I have no idea what it is about, but I hope for good news. Also, after speaking with Lisbeth, she has in fact agreed to allow me to invite her drunk of an employee to man our market stall. I hope he will prove more reliable for me than he's been for Lisbeth. And one of the reasons I'm very interested in that, if we just go over here and check our ledger for our last update to the ledger, we're doing pretty good. We've found another gold bullion. So last time we only had 2. This time we have 3. So at 5,000 each. And then we also found a statue of Dibella in the fort that we cleared out to find the Forge Master's fingers. Now, interestingly, the statue of Dibella is worth more than 15,000, but trying to sell that in a single go is going to be extremely difficult, and we may not get nearly that much for it. However, I put it under gold bullion because it is the equivalent of 3 gold bullion, and if we try to, we can smelt it down from the statue form into 3 gold bullion, and I am going to do that. I'll probably do it right now. East Empire notes held, we have 15 at 5,000 each, and for our Merchant Guild notes, we have 17, so that's 75,000 and 17,000 in notes held. And this is the part that I was concerned about. So the profit from the market stall recently has been 0 because I haven't been manning the market stall. due to other business, which is going out and doing all kinds of adventures and things like that. And that's the reason why we really need to get someone to man the stall for us. So our total profits to date are up to 120,294 septims, and our total liquid assets are 2,000 or so more than that. We're up to 122,040 septims. I only have 40 septims held right now. So we're doing pretty good. And one of the things when you're doing pretty good with your money is you want to ask, well, what are you going to do with that money? Well, part of it I need to put away for taxes. Now, if I take a look real quick at the date here, it's the 10th of Heartfire, or Hearthfire, depending on what part of the Tamriel you're from. And I spoke to Skagi, the Scarred, and he's the one who owns and runs this mine. And he agreed to allow me to pay his cut of our profits at the end of this month. And I believe what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll speak to the Earl Steward, and we'll also pay our taxes at the end of each month as well. So once it gets to the 30th, I believe Heartfire has 30 days. So at the 30th of Heartfire, we will calculate our profits for the entire time that we've been here in Markarth, and we will pay our taxes. Now, I haven't figured out what the tax rate is just yet, so we'll have to do some creative thinking about how we want to do that. But if you're going to make tons of money, you want to pay your taxes. I mean, it's just good business. And then, to boot, we also will be starting this episode, hopefully, with some more investing. Now, full disclosure, I've already hired some miners. If we just look at this sign over here, the left-hand mine is owned by me. I have now bought this mine as far as hiring the miners, and every 7 days they are going to produce 5 iron ore for me. Now, you may think, well, that doesn't seem very profitable, Artorius. Why would you want to do that when you could just go and find iron ore on your own? Well, that's because I have bigger plans. And those bigger plans include the fact that I also have bought Kolskegger Mine, and I have also gone to Karthwasten and purchased both of the mines in Karthwasten. Also, there is a mine for Orichalcum at Dushnik Yarl, which I haven't purchased yet, and I do plan on doing that. And so the idea is, everywhere where we have a chance to purchase mines, we are going to purchase them. And don't tell the Silverbloods. If the Silverbloods find out, I'm sure they're probably going to summon the Dark Brotherhood to try to get rid of us, or at least stiff arm us and try to send some thugs or something, just like they did over there in Karthwasten. So we need to prepare to visit the Jarl, and in order to do that, since I'm such a great craftsman, I have decided that I would craft up some gear. So let me show you what we came up with. I'll just go into my inventory here, and I figured that we would want something a little more businessy looking. So what I've crafted up here is what I think is a cross between conservative and a little more upper class as far as a business attire. And this is Artorius's business suit, and it looks quite nice, and not only is it utilitarian, but it also looks quite warm on these cold northern Skyrim days. We also have along with it a nice scarf. We have some gloves and boots that all go with that same outfit. And just to show you what it looks like, I've already set it up on our hotkey. And there we are. This is Artorius's new business suit, his business attire. And I think this is what we're going to use when we go and speak to the Jarl. Now, before we do that, I did promise that we're going to do some crafting. So right over here in our valuables chest, You can see if I go by value, the most valuable thing that we have to our name is this statue of Dibella. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. All right, and then we're going to go over here. But as you can see right here, gold bullion, which is a value of 5,000, one Dibella statue. We're going to go ahead and smelt that down and we'll get 3 gold bullion. That's it. That's all we're going to do. Okay, and then I'm just going to go over here and stash that temporarily in our valuables chest. So let me find the gold bullion. 1, 2, 3. And then this should match up now with the ledger. So if I just look at the valuables in this chest, we now have 6 gold bullion. 3 from previous and 3 from the statue of Dibella. So that's 30,000 gold right there, just in the form of gold bullion. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, are you going to make that into jewelry or something like that? And no, we're not, actually. Because if we go to the, I forget the name of exactly of what it's called, but there is an exchange that's run by the Silverbloods that's just up above the street, just up the street from Lisbeth's there, Arnleif and Sons. And they will trade us directly for gold bullion. So this is a viable way of a 1-for-1 swap on coin, and that's another reason why I have not invested so much in the silver as a way to keep our track of our earnings. Now, if I were to count the silver, we would be much more higher up in the liquidatable assets. But the silver, I find, is much more valuable to turn into jewelry. So we will turn the silver into jewelry and use that for sale. But for the gold bullion, this is directly exchangeable for 5,000 septims. So this is a good way to bank our money. Now, it's a heavy way to bank our money. Every single one of these bricks weighs about 30 pounds. So trying to carry this stuff around is no joke. But I've got some plans for storing these valuables in a better location also pretty soon. So just to show you, so we've got the Merchant Guild notes here. We've got 17 of those. And then we've also got the East Empire Company notes. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take some just in case we need it for investing purposes. I'm going to go ahead and take our Merchant Guild notes. And the nice thing about the notes is that's 17,000 septims worth of notes, which literally only weighs, less than 1 pound, because they only weigh 1/10 of a pound. Oh, excuse me. If it's 1/10 of a pound, that would be 1.7. So that's 1.7 pounds of Merchant Guild notes. So let's go ahead and take those. And then the only thing left to do now is to head up to the Understone Keep and talk to the Jarl. So let's head up there and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back. Now, I've been standing here waiting for quite some time, and those Thalmor people marching back and forth really give me the creeps. Ah yes, here they come. So we're right on time for the Jarl. That's his guard there, his house Carl. I forget her name. Probably would be a good idea if I didn't forget her name. Oh, hi Gorsa. Good morning. How are you? Tacitus? Didn't really have much to say, huh? See how that guy keeps eyeballing me? I don't know what's his deal, but there's the Earl Steward. And here comes the Jarl.
The only thing we need to discuss is how many men it will take to flush them out of the hills.
Alright, let's see if it's okay for us to approach once he has a seat up there.
It doesn't matter if they're in the city. We fight them where they live. We want
Those guys creep me out.
They live here too, my Jarl. That's what I'm telling you. My Jarl, we need to discuss the state of Markarth's collapsing trade with the other holds.
Of course there's a collapse in trade, Ray.
Jarl Igman, I'm here on your request for me to come and see you. Hopefully you appreciate that I came early, first thing the very next morning. What is it that I can do for you, my Jarl?
Good to see you. There is room in my court for a new thane. It's an honorary title mainly, but there are a few perks someone like you could make use of. However, I could only grant the title to someone who is known throughout my horde, and who owns at least one piece of property in my city. You help my people and purchase a house for my steward, and I'll make you my thane.
I don't know what to say, Jarl Igman. I'm honored by this opportunity, and it would be absolutely my honor.
As you were then.
All right, so
Good speaking with you.
seems like we're ready to make our first property investment in Markarth.
How is the reach
And-
against this Foresworn menace?
We're not going to be able to do that with 40 septums in our pocket. I really have enjoyed my time over at the Left Hand Mine, and it's a nice place and everything, but there is something about the fact that I've been there for so long, and I still feel, you know, kind of homeless. I've just been staying in the same place there with the miners, and working day in and day out, toiling at my labors with the crafting of weapons and armors, and I'd like to have a home. So I think that what we're going to do is we're going to purchase a home.
Is someone there? Nah, I don't think so. Okay, just this once.
Speech level. All right, let's head on in here.
You lost?
They should have been open already. I don't know. Maybe they're closed for inventory or something like that. But just in case you were wondering, we are in the Treasury House. And this is a place I was talking about earlier where you can come and speak to them about exchanging monies.
The Treasury House is really just for patrons of the Silverblood family. You don't belong here.
They don't seem to like me very much. So anyway, that's not going to stop me from trading coin with you.
I'm sorry. We're only interested in helping our patrons.
Oh. Well, how do you like that?
I'm just a servant. Don't pay me any mind.
Ah, okay, I won't. Let's see. I'd like to change some
How
money.
much?
And excuse me.
Working in the Treasury House isn't so bad. I earn good money.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. But yes, I did mention earlier about the silver.
E18 has been working in the Treasury House since before I was born.
And apparently the silver is able to be traded, so I wasn't quite sure about that before. But we're
Sometimes
gonna...
I hear Ingvar singing in his room. He's actually quite good.
She's interrupting my inner dialogue. Yeah, let's go ahead and get 10,000 septums. Alright,
Did you
and
need something?
that's it. And honestly, she was so rude, I don't think I want her to use her
Yes.
services anymore. I'm out of here.
They live here.
Alright, we're back. So I believe that the only thing that we need to do is speak to the steward here and speak to him about the available property. So let's see if he's ready. Mr. Rarik.
I'm Igmund's uncle, as well as his steward. Igmund, we need to talk about the Silverblood family.
Okay.
What about them? They seem loyal enough.
I got kicked out of the conversation.
Thornbull supports our family. I advise Igmund the same way I advised his father.
I am interested in the house. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I'm interested in purchasing the house that's available in the city.
Splendid. There's a house available right now.
I know I've seen it already. And I would like to go ahead and purchase that if you don't mind.
Wonderful. Here is the key to your new home.
Alright, and then just out of curiosity, how much does it cost if I want to have someone decorate the home for me?
I'll be glad to help you. There are many ways to improve your home. provided you have the coin. And of course, don't forget to consult your home decorating guide for descriptions of the decorations you can buy. Now, what would you like to purchase?
Okay, so if we take a look, we've got 800 gold for bedroom furnishings, living room furnishings 900, alchemy laboratory for 1,000, enchanting, you know, not interested in that. The entrance hall for 500, and yeah, I don't think I'm ready for children just yet. So let's see, if I just want the entrance hall and the bedroom, that's going to be 1,300 plus alchemy, so that'll be 2,300, and I don't think we have enough coin on us for that, but let's go ahead and get the entrance hall.
Very well. I'll make the arrangements. The next time you visit your house, your new furnishings will be in place. Is there anything else you'd like to purchase?
And let's see, the bedroom furnishings.
Very well. I'll make the arrangements. The next time you visit your house, your new furnishings will be in place. Is there anything else you'd like to purchase?
I think we'll go ahead and get the living room as well.
I'm sorry, but you don't seem to have enough gold to pay for that. Is there anything else you'd like to purchase?
And obviously, since we don't have enough gold, that'll be all.
As you wish. Speak to me again if you decide to purchase some decorations for your home.
Alright guys, we're homeowners. So like I was saying before, I really kind of felt like, you know, I've enjoyed my time doing our crafting over at the left-hand mine there, but just staying there and you know, permanently is not really a viable long-term solution for things, especially when, you know, I've been speaking to Gorza more and more, and you know, I think things might be moving along there shortly. Well, hopefully anyway. Anyway, let's head on over and take a look at our new home. Alright guys, so before we head in, I believe this is the place, and wow, it really looks really neat from up here. From up here, we can actually see and look right down onto where the market stall is down there. It's actually outside of render distance right now, which is kind of neat because we're really up high. But yeah, so I think this is going to be really cool. We can keep an eye on the market from here and kind of get an idea of how things are going. So let's go ahead and head on in and see what this place looks like. All right. So quite an entrance here. We've got a barrel here. So that's nice to have a storage right off the bat. And then let's just see. We might have to do something about the lighting. It seems a little bit dark. So, but we can use Jackson's and do something about that. The bracers are nice. So we didn't get the living room furnishings, and so we don't actually have that lived-in feel just yet. But yeah, we'll go ahead and change in some more coin and get this place looking spiffy in no time. But let's just head back this way. And it looks like this is sort of a meeting area or a dining type area, which is kind of nice. And let's see, over here. Yeah, it looks like we do have a bed in here, so we can have someone stay in here. Yeah, this place needs some, it needs a little TLC. There's cobwebs everywhere and things like that, so interesting. So there is a cook pot there by the fire. And it looks like this area they've taken care of already, which is the living area. Not too keen again on the amount of lighting in here. It seems kind of dark, but I don't know about you guys. Sometimes I sleep better when it's dark, so I don't know. We'll see about lighting this area or not. But we've got some more storage here. Whoops, I didn't even mean to do that. We've got some more storage. cupboards. And we've got a display case. It's kind of nice. The, you know, the stone feels a little bit, you know, cold at first, I think, but I think you'll get used to it. I think we'll get used to it. So what we probably need to do is this living area. This definitely needs some improvement. And then looks like there's another room back over here. Yeah, just an empty room. Not sure what this would be good for. And then let's check over in this area. It looks terrible. Honestly, it looks really terrible. Needs to be cleaned up. And but we'll put in between episodes, I'll put some work into this place and get it fixed up. So we have another little room in here. Looks like an area. So lots of fireplaces, which is nice. So that'll help keep us from, you know, getting too cold on these cold Markarth nights. And yeah, I'm glad they lit the fires up for us to start warming the place up already. But yeah, so alright, that's gonna do it for, I think, for the home tour. The next thing I need to do is what I said I was going to do, and we need to get somebody down there in our market stall and have that thing running all the time so that we can load it up with stuff. And I think the person we need to talk to is named Kosnak. So Kosnak is, he works for Lisbeth and Arnleif and Son, and but she's told me several times that she's been having some issues with his reliability due to his drinking. So I bet you we're going to find him over here at the Silverblood Inn.
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything, or take a seat by the fire, and I'll send someone over.
I bet you that's him right over there.
My friend, a toast to a beautiful friendship.
Yes, hi, Kosnak. Where are you going, dude? Hey, come back here. I'm talking to you.
Another drink, Kosnak?
Need something?
A porter with Arnleif and Sons deserves nothing but the finest here.
No, he doesn't need another
All
drink.
Your drinks are watered
Yes.
down, Clever. You aren't
Hi there.
fooling me, and you know Lisbeth can't afford to pay me enough for the finest drinks anyhow.
Yes.
I wasn't aware that Lisbeth was having trouble, Kosnak. Is Arnleif and Sons not doing a good turn of business these days?
What are you, blind? That store is empty. Foresworn get almost
did you
every
need
shipment
something?
that comes in.
That's just terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that.
No, you
Okay,
aren't.
okay, you guys just calm down, alright?
Need something.
Kosnak, listen up.
Good to see you.
So, I had to speak with Lisbeth, and I was wondering if you would be willing to work for me for a while. Now, if you do, you have to promise no drinking on the job. What you do on your own time, that's your business, but I insist, no drinking on the job. Do we have a deal?
Let's not waste any time.
Alright, great. So, let's just take a look here and see.
Could you please
Um,
clean out our guest rooms?
I'm not really keen on your,
You do anything important around here.
let's go outside.
Just
It's
check
so
the
noisy.
guests and manage the...
Okay, so let's have a talk about...
What?
I want you to just sit down here for a minute. We need to talk,
Will do.
okay? So here's the thing. Business.
No, not possible.
Okay, listen.
Is
Business.
that it?
No, it's not it. Just hold still, okay? Listen. I want to talk to you
Let's
about
get going.
your dress because I want you to look good for people that are interested in our items and our weapons and armor and things like that. And you need to put on, you know, like a good air of salesmanship. And with this, you know, armor that you have on, that's definitely not doing it. So why don't we put you in something a little more, you know, I'm at a loss for words here. Kosnak, You know what I'm talking about. You need to look better. So let's get you in some nicer clothes.
Excellent. I think you'll be glad that you made this decision.
And let's see. I think what we're going to do is we're going to put him in some merchant's clothes.
Thank you. I'll be sure to put it to good use.
And let's take a look.
If there's ever
Yeah, that's a lot better. That's a lot nicer. Where are you going? Hey, come back here. We need to talk about what I need you to do. Yeah, no shopping.
We've stopped. What is it?
Okay, so let's see. Let me take a look at what you have in your inventory.
Yes, of course.
And let's see. You don't need that, and you don't need that. Okay? You can keep the belted tunic if you like, and the septums. That's fine. Okay? So what we're going to do now is I need you to go ahead and have a seat over in the stall and get to work. Okay?
Fine. What? What? Will do. That it?
I hope that is it. And I'm a little bit concerned though if I'm doing this properly. So let me try this again. I think he's just sitting there because it doesn't seem like the stall is open. So I think maybe I need to open the stall first. So let's go ahead and get him to follow.
Excellent.
And then I'm going to set the prices at standard. So we'll just put the prices at average. And then we'll open the store. And then while we're here, Kosnak, where are you?
What? Will do. That it? I want to go fight something.
I'm gonna be a silversmith one day, like my
Alright, I'll be right back once I get this figured out. Alright guys, so I figured out a couple of things, and I just want to share with you.
Mama doesn't like me jumping up and down in the house. But I can't help it, I swear.
Okay, so what I ended up doing was for someone like Kosnak that's not going to be a standard follower for me, one of the things that Nether's follower framework allows you to do is you can go into your follower tweaks and select each of your followers. So I've selected Kosnak here, and I turned off the sandboxing, and I also turned off allow idle chatter. And I think this basically, he'll still move his lips from time to time, but we won't hear the noise of him talking. That could be on or off, but the main thing was the allow sandbox. I had to turn that off, and then I set the follow range to close so that he would stay near me when I opened the stall. So then all I had to do was I opened the stall myself, sat down, and then while he was close enough to me while I was sitting down, I accessed his dialogue. And there is a dialogue option of, can you run the stall for me? And so he will be now running the stall. And again, I haven't actually done this before myself, but if we just look in here, if I go over to see, there's nothing in the miscellaneous tab right now. So I think what's going to happen is over time, he will sell items to the passersby and at the standard value, and that occasionally we'll come by and we will gather up the coin from it and restock the market stall. So this is pretty much going to be Kosnak's life now, because we have a lot of other things that we have to deal with, and you know, and we can't just be sitting around here all the time. So we have an employee now, and he can run that for us, which is excellent. So it looks like he has a customer already, or maybe I got in the guy's way. So yeah, I'll check back in with you guys before the end of this episode, and we'll see. Now, one more thing. This area right up here, I'm going to rent it, because this is an excellent area for use as an office, a business office, and I've been checking it out. And if we just come in here, and I'll close the door, there's an excellent space here for me to sit and do my business books and take care of things. I have a little bit of some storage here, and there's a safe over here, and I think this may be where we end up storing our gold and things like that, under lock and key, in a safe and behind a locked door. So right now I don't own this place, but I will figure out who I need to speak to. I believe this is owned by the East Empire Company, or it's a warehouse type thing for them. But there's all these boxes and crates around here that I haven't seen anyone do anything with, and I'm wondering if we can't take advantage of this situation that it's not being utilized and maybe get it for a good price. So yep, that's going to do it for now. I'm going to say goodbye, but don't go anywhere, because I want to wait for a little bit of time, let a little bit of time pass, and then I'm going to check on the market stall to see if Koznak is effective or not at making money. So I will be right back, and then once we find out, then I will say goodbye for the day. Alright guys, we're back, and it is just a little bit afternoon on the very next day, and I slept in the miner's place again, and I just noticed that Koznak was there with me when I woke up. Now, I have not changed any settings for him, but I did notice that he is on his way back now into Markarth. So I'm just kind of following along. I want to see what he does, because if he does go back to the market stall, that's going to be a very good sign. And then I also, before I did go back to the mine, I did some restocking of the market stall. I put a bunch of stuff in there, so I want to see if Koznak was able to make any profit. Alright, so he hasn't moved from the front door here, from the main entrance, and it doesn't look like the stall is open. I put so much stuff in here, I can't tell right off the bat if anything's been sold. But if we go into his inventory,
Let's get going.
I can take back control of the stall, or I can trade some things with him and check his coin. And since yesterday, we left him with, he began, I think he had 1 septum in his inventory, and you can see now that in the one day he's already made 7,078 septums. So, Koznak, you're doing a great job, buddy. Keep it up.
Let's go.
And let's make tons of money. And that just goes to show, guys, through perseverance and excellent marketing tactics, you too can own Skyrim. I'm Artorius the blacksmith, and now Artorius the merchant. I'm see you later, guys, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.